We are the Ops and Gynae department of the Kolebu Teaching Hospital because it's National Breastfeeding Week. And we're here to speak with the head of the department, Dr. Charles Techi, who's going to be telling us a lot more about why breastfeeding is so critical. Yes, we understand breastfeeding is very, very important. It's been said that as a child or as a baby, if you're breastfed, usually if the mother is doing exclusive breastfeeding, you turn out to be a lot better than somebody who doesn't have as much breast milk. So it's a very, very important conversation. And I know it's a little unusual to have a man talking about breastfeeding, but in another breath you can say it's not very unusual. But good morning, and Dr. Charles Techi, it's good to have you on Joy Prime. So I started off by saying it's unusual to have men, speak about breastfeeding because men don't have breasts per se, the kind of breasts that feed infants. But yes, by virtue of the fact that you're head of department, you're sponsoring essentially the National Breastfeeding Week, and so there's a lot to be, for you to talk about. What's the focus for this week, this year's National Breastfeeding Week?
Okay, thank you for having me. I would like to start by saying that this year's theme for the Breastfeeding Week is special because as the theme goes, breastfeeding for a sustainable start in life, strengthen what works. So we are re-emphasizing or echoing on doing what has been proven by studies and research to be effective. We know the importance of breastfeeding in the growing child cannot be overemphasized, including health, equity, and environmental sustainability.
Doc, I'd like you to pause there.
Yes.
As you heard Doc say, he mentioned in the growing child, which means the breastfeeding we are talking about is not for the adults. So this is for the growing child. Doc, please continue. Once we've cleared that out of the way.
Yes. So that is the more reason why we need to sustain what we know works. And one of the important things is about early initiation of breastfeeding.
All right.
And then sustaining it through other environmental practices, okay? In this country, we know the environment plays a crucial role. Studies have shown that the provision of safe spaces for breastfeeding helps breastfeeding mothers. So that's another one of the things that works. That if you provide a good environment for the nursing mother, then they will be able to have effective breastfeeding.
Right.
The other aspect is the psychological well-being of the breastfeeding mother. Studies have shown that stress reduces lactation or breast milk production. And as practitioners, we encourage helping the breastfeeding mothers to have a less stressful environment so as to encourage breastfeeding.
What are some of the stresses that may, hinder breast milk production?
One major thing that comes to mind is financial stress. A woman comes to the hospital, is not thinking about how she will be able to pay for her bills. The environment, if they are treated nicely by the healthcare workers and other people around her,
and also including the husband.
Including the husband as well. They should be pampered so that they don't think of anything but how to take care of the baby, and then the breast milk will flow. So these are some of the things that comes to mind with the stress aspect. We are trying to encourage all institutions to have breast corners breast corners will help, because if the staff come to work, they should be able to have a safe space for them to be able to breastfeed if they have nursing mothers among them. So that is one. As a nation, having the breast bank or the wet bank is something that we should look at, because they have it in other places. These breast banks or the wet banks are storage facilities where women who have excess breast milk donate.
Okay.
They screen this breast milk and then store them, so that, we have children, babies, preterm babies, whose mothers are not able to offer breast milk, then they use it for them.
All right, thank you very much, Dr. Charles Techi. Of course, there's a lot more to the conversation, and so as you directed us, we'll go and see the one who's in charge of the breastfeeding week, and she's going to be telling us, it's a she, right?
Yeah.
So she's going to be telling us a lot more about what to expect for the week, and she being a she would also add a lot more to the conversation. All right, but thank you very much, Dr. Charles Techi.
Thank you. Nice. Thank you for coming.
Okay. So as you heard Dr. Charles Techi say that he's handing us over to somebody who's going to be telling us a lot more about the activities expected for this week. So let's go in there and get to meet Dr. Emefa Akoto Ampao. Hello, Doc.
Hello.
Nice to meet you. So it's still about conversations having to do with the National Breastfeeding Week. And we spoke to Dr. Charles Techi, who said you're the one to take us round and explain to us what's happening. So you tell us where we are right here and what's happening around here.
Okay, so right now we are at the Department of Obstetrics and Gynecology.
All right.
We are at the antenatal and postnatal area.
Okay.
Okay, so this is a records area that we have when they come.
They'll
So
go and check their records here.
Precisely.
All right.
And then they are transferred onto the data for consultation.
Okay.
Okay. Then, so depending on what they are coming to do, if it's antenatal, they go to the other side.
All right.
Okay, for the various vital checking and all that. But we are talking about breastfeeding.
Okay.
So this is after delivery, so postnatal. And this is our postnatal area.
All right.
So usually when they come, we do have some of our midwives who do education. They tell them about postnatal issues, breastfeeding issues, the health of the baby, and how to take care of the baby. And it's not only the mothers who come to the postnatal, as we can see right now. We have a father.
Yes, I find that quite interesting. that we have a father who's here with the baby.
We have a father who has come with the baby. We are encouraging.
Good morning, Poppy.
Good morning.
All right, so I see you're here with your baby. That's a lovely child. Hey. Hello, kitty. How are you? That's a lovely baby, actually. Oh no! You don't like the camera. So, I mean, is this something you do regularly?
Not regularly, but I try to help out.
So that's when your wife is not available.
Yes, I try to help. I try my best to help. Okay. Yes. So.
All right. I can tell you know how to change diapers and all that.
Yes.
Oh wow. Okay, so model dad. National Breastfeeding Week. He can't give any breast milk, but he finds time to bring the baby to antenatal. That's very commendable. All right, so Dr. Emefa, you say sometimes you have fathers also come.
Yes, we do have fathers who also come with their wives to come and listen to the education and then also be there. In fact, this is very commendable.
All right.
And we are recommending that all of our fathers who are new fathers should please come to the postnatal clinic and assist their wife.
Okay, it looks like she came with a wife.
Okay.
Okay. So I can see that's a lovely baby, by the way, and I see your husband is very supportive. Is he very supportive, or he's just doing settings because he's student?
No, he's very supportive. Yes, please.
So congratulations once again. Once your wife has confirmed that you are very supportive, we have to applaud you. So please give him something for me when you go home.
Sure, I will.
Take us around. Where else do we go?
Okay, so we've talked about the postnatal, what they come and do here. Right, so we also have a nutrition desk.
Okay.
From the various speeches that we have heard, we've heard about how important nutrition is for the mother herself to be able to produce enough breast milk for the baby. So when they come, not only antenatally but postnatally, they are also giving some education as to what they can eat, what proportion of food, a balanced diet, so that then they are in a position to be able to give their babies the right breast milk that the baby.
That's nice. So since we have this nice lady here, maybe let's speak with her. Good morning to you.
Good morning to you too.
So when the mothers come, breastfeeding mothers come, what are some of the things you tell them?
So,
what's your name, by the way?
My name is Hadija Mohammed Rabi here. So basically, this table is postnatal breastfeeding support. So we focus on what the mother eats, things to support breast milk production, and we consider some of the essential vitamins and minerals that is needed during the early stages of the child's life. So we focus on that actually.
Right. So we're going to go in there and get to sit down with Dr. Emefa Akoto-Ampah to get to hear a lot more about the National Breastfeeding Week. So do come along with us.
Yes, and we'll be doing that. So,
Dr. Boafo, it's nice to have you also join the conversation. We've talked about why it is important that babies are giving breast milk, and essentially or ideally they're fed exclusively. What would you advise?
Yes, my advice is that everybody must practice the exclusive breastfeeding, because the benefits are so huge. I mean, babies that are breastfed do better in terms of their intelligence quotients, doing well in life generally, their growth and development, even their heights.
What is it about the breast milk, or what is it in the breast milk that makes that happen?
Breast milk has everything. It is the most balanced diet, well prepared. Takes into consideration whatever the needs are, and it's actually provided. Some other milk, like if you take cow milk or goat milk, they may contain a lot more proteins than the baby actually needs. But the breast milk just contains the adequate amount in the proportion the baby can actually digest. So it's the most balanced diet a baby should have. So we shouldn't deprive any baby from having this balanced diet. So my advice to everybody is that everybody must get involved. Let's encourage our mothers, because that 6 months exclusive breastfeeding does so much for the baby's life.
Now, there are those who can't sometimes express breast milk. So how do they go about it?
Yeah, there are few people who may not be able to breast milk, to be able to, express it, because the breast production is poor because of some medical conditions. Those are the few that some formula will be given. But of course, these days we have breast banks. Okay. So those people can actually rely on the breast bank.
Dr. Charles Techi actually mentioned.
So the breast bank is, a very good substitute for.
You also encourage people to, as much as those who express a lot more or have excess breast milk, to provide that to put in storage.
Yeah.
Okay. But do we have breast banks here in Ghana?
Yes, we have UGM's University of Ghana Medical Center has it. So, I believe Kolebu too can have it, and other places too can have it. So it's doable. In other countries, breast bank is so available. So,
okay.
Yeah.
And what advice would you have for fathers who have their wives giving birth and the encouragement that they need to get?
My advice for fathers is that we all have to support. The word is support. I mean, practical support. I mean, your wife is busy with something. You can take over that, a little bit of the house chore, so that her hands can be freed, so that she can focus more on the breastfeeding of the baby. Because when she gets it right, I mean, everything else in the child's life gets right. So this foundation, we shouldn't play with it. So the men, our role is support. Support in so many ways. Financial support, I mean, other practical support, so let's all get involved.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's important again that we emphasize that the breast milk we're talking about is for the child, the baby. So this National Breastfeeding Week is not about fathers.
Yes, this National Breastfeeding Week is about the baby, but fathers must be involved. I mean, the breast actually belongs to the baby.
All right, so we're going to have a demonstration of how the breastfeeding should be done, and we have one midwife here with us. What's your name, please?
My name is Portia Babratufo.
Right, so Auntie Portia is going to show us how the breastfeeding will be done, and we have a dummy baby over here. So yes, let's see how it goes.
Okay. To begin with, a breastfeeding mother has to sit comfortably in a chair, and then the chair has to have a backrest like the one I'm sitting on. So you sit comfortably on the chair with your back rested, and then you get a stool to put your leg on. If possible, you get a pillow to support your hand, and then you put the baby's head in between your elbow here, and then your palm on the baby's buttocks, not the thigh. And then you make sure the baby's abdomen touches the mother's abdomen like this. And then you put 4 fingers under your breast with your thumb up. And then you put the nipple in the baby's mouth. But then you don't have to let only the nipple enter the baby's mouth. The nipple together with the areola. So about 80% of the areola should enter the baby's mouth. That is the black round thing around the nipple. About 80% of it should enter the baby's mouth. And then if the baby latches well on the breast, you see the lower lip turned outside and then the upper lip also outside. That shows that baby is latching well on the breast. That way, mother will not have any backache and baby will also suck perfectly well without any difficulties. Thank you.
Right. Are there instances where, or does this also avoid a situation where the baby gets to choke on the breast milk? Because that happens sometimes, doesn't it?
Yes, most of the time when the breast milk is overproduced, that is overproduction of the breast milk, and then sometimes so mothers also lie on the bed whilst breastfeeding. When that happens, baby can choke on the breast milk. So if you are the type that always lie down to breastfeed, please you make sure you set up to breastfeed in order not for baby to get choked. And then if your you are producing a lot of breast milk too, you have to also pay attention to it, and then you feed baby as and when baby needs, and then on demand.
What are some of the other don'ts as far as breastfeeding is concerned? You're saying that the mothers shouldn't lie to breastfeed, and they should also be monitoring how much breast milk is flowing. Okay,
so most mothers breastfeed using the scissor hold, which is not allowed. When you do the scissor hold, it blocks the flow of the breast milk. So we prefer that you do the C hold like this. That way the milk is centered around the areola. So when baby latches well on the areola, it helps the flow of the breast milk. So please, those found of using the scissor hold should stop and then do the C hold.
So the C hold we're saying is where you put 4 of the fingers.
Yes, under your breast and then the thumb on the breast.
And then the C hold is?
This is the C hold. The scissor hold is this way, like the scissor type. And most women are fond of doing this, which that shouldn't be done. And then also, they shouldn't lie down to breastfeed babies because most of them tend to sleep whilst breastfeeding baby. Yes, so they shouldn't lie down to breastfeed babies. They should always set up to breastfeed their babies. And after breastfeeding, they should burp the baby. Put baby on their shoulder and then burp the baby before they put baby to sleep.
All right, thank you very much, Auntie Portia, telling us about the do's and don'ts as far as breastfeeding is concerned. So we still have Dr. Emefa Akutuampao with us, and she's going to be adding on. So we've gotten quite a bit of education as far as breastfeeding is concerned. What else do you have to add to all that has been shared with us?
Okay, so it has been said everywhere, as we have heard, that breastfeeding is for the health of the baby and also for the sustaining the environment. Okay, when we give the baby the best start, which is giving the baby the type of food in the right amount and proportion, this baby will grow well. And when the baby is growing well, the baby is protected from all communicable diseases in the future. Okay, most of these diseases are asthma, allergies, even obesity, and other chronic diseases that follow, like the cardiovascular diseases. Studies have shown that when you start well with breastfeeding, the likelihood of this child growing up to contract any of these diseases is reduced.
And let's talk about the theme for this year's National Breastfeeding Week.
So the theme is breastfeeding, sustainable starts in life. We
break it down for us.
What works.
Break down for us.
All right. So, like I started talking, that breastfeeding is for the health of the baby, and also breastfeeding also helps us with helping a sustainable environment. What do we mean by that? When we breastfeed, the mother does not need to go and buy any food that has already been put in a container or a tin. These containers and tins that breast milk formulas are stored in are produced from mining natural resources. So when you breastfeed, then you are reducing the amount of these natural resources that are being used to produce the storage or packaging material for breastfeeding. So that is one way of helping the environment. Now, these same packages, when we finish using them, if we are not breastfeeding, the way we discard them, they become waste. And we have seen what happened the last few weeks with the flooding in our country and in Accra. Most of the waste that we saw is plastic and tins. Okay. If a mother chooses not to go and buy any of these products and breastfeeds, then the likelihood of creating that waste is lessened. So that is our way also of adding to helping to sustain the environment. Now, the other thing also is that this mother does not have to go and buy a feeding bottle or any of those, again, plastic things to be able to prepare the formula feeding and feed the baby. Again, we are reducing the amount of plastic waste that we are doing. So when you breastfeed, you are helping in the environment and the health of the baby.
Exactly. All right. And so what are some of the other activities we should expect lined up for National Breastfeeding Week?
Yes. So for us in Kolebu over here, we've started with the launch of the program, which was very successful this morning. Outside that, next week we have an outreach, a community outreach on breastfeeding. We are going to the Tuesday market to go and educate our mothers in the market. Some of them may not be able to come regularly to the hospital to come and hear the education. So we want to carry the message out there to our mothers at the market. So that's one of the things that we are going to be doing. Now, the other thing also that we're going to be holding a number of stakeholders conversations, engagements, to talk about how we can sustain the matter or the issue of breastfeeding and help both the health worker and the mothers to be able to continue in this process of sustaining breastfeeding. At the end of the month or the beginning of September, we are going to have a training session or a refresher course to help our healthcare personnel, to strengthen them to be able to deliver the message that is needed to be delivered to our mothers and the public. So these are some of the things that we have lined up.
All right. Thank you very much, Dr. Emefa Akoto Ampao, who has been educating us about breastfeeding and why it's so crucial to get to do that. I think one of the things I'm taking away, or we should take away from all that has been said, is that breastfeeding or the breast milk is so crucial for the development of the baby. And so we should encourage mothers as much as possible, if they can, exclusive breastfeeding for 6 months. If you can go beyond 6 months, that's even better. And then as much as possible, we should also have the fathers also supporting the mothers so that they can be able to express the breast milk and feel free enough without stress. So, because the stress can actually hinder the expression of or the flow of the breast milk. And we also heard from Portia, Auntie Portia, who was telling us, the midwife who was telling us about the do's and don'ts as far as breastfeeding is concerned. I hope you take all of that. And so, yes, over to you back in the studio from the Kolebu Teaching Hospital.